So, as everybody could tell, I have multiple bolts. These are hex head set screws that I purchased from the bolt company that I had put a picture of or a video of earlier. And basically it goes the same place as the stock backrest and pack. What I did was, the first thing I did was I used an 80 millimeter set screws that I bought, and I screwed them all the way in as far as they would go to measure how deep. The next thing I did was after I drilled my holes in my tour pack, and this was a Harley tour pack that I bought off of eBay that I used on my 2002 Electric Glide Standard. I paid about 300 bucks for it, and it already had the mounting plate, and so I just made a template, which I showed in the second video, and I measured where to drill the holes, measured the size of the holes, and then I drilled them and got it set up to the correct placement so my wife was comfortable. So as you can tell, I've already placed the bolts and the washers. Now what I did was, once I measured how far they were, I took a level and I used a level to get the bolts the same height. Then I took and set the tour pack on after I'd already drilled the holes so I could see where it sits on the bike. Now, as you can see inside the tour pack, there is the metal plate that came with it and a template that I made from the backrest to be able to drill my holes. Sorry for the walking around. So once I did that, I was able to figure out where it needed to go on the actual seat so it would not squash my wife when she was sitting on the bike. The other thing I had to worry about was the antenna, and where I placed the bolts, I screwed them down as far as I could where it was stable but still high enough where it didn't feel like I was breaking my antenna. The antenna still bends fairly far, but it's functional and it doesn't have any issues with reception. Now, as you can see, I had to make some modifications to the fender bolts or fender washers so they could fit onto the bottom of the tour pack. Okay, so I'm back. So I'm going to show you what the bolt looks like. And what I did is I have the bolt, which is the 80 millimeter set screw bolt. As you can see here, it's got the hex head inside. Then I took a lock, or just a regular hex nut, screwed it down, and what I did is I placed it through the bottom of the tour pack and measured how far up it would stick, and then I put the nut on, and then I put a lock. It's a half moon lock that I bought, and I don't know if you can see it, but it's there. It locks the nut so it doesn't go down any further. And then what I did was I took the nylock nut and I screwed it on, and I measured how deep I wanted to go and set it. So when I put that back on, and I'm walking over to the bike so you can see where it goes. And basically when I screw it down in there, as you can see, and I'll try to do this quick so you guys can see, and I just use my Allen wrench. It locks down into place just like the other three. Then I put my fender washer on, and I have them labeled front right, front left, so when I'm ready to I have everything in place, I can just set my tour pack down on top of it. So, and then what I did was I used a level to figure out to make sure my tour pack was going to be level when I put it on. So let me go grab the level and I'll show you what I mean. Now, if you guys can see, those bolts are level. So that means my tour pack is going to be level when I put it on. And I did the same thing on the other side. It's a little hard to see, but I did the same thing on the other side. So now when I place my tour pack on, it'll be level and it'll give me the space that I need to have where it doesn't actually sit on the seat, but it will be in the right place for my wife when she sits down on it. So give me a minute and I'll get the tour pack set on there and I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, I'm back. So as you can see, it took me just about a minute or so to get the tour pack on, and you can see I marked the holes with a marker, so I knew which holes to go with. You do see a bunch of tape on there because I had multiple holes for when it was the tour pack on my Harley, because I had to make multiple adjustments for my wife to get it all where she was comfortable. So as you can tell, once I get all of the nuts and washers on, it cinches down pretty good and gets it right where it's supposed to go. And let me get these on so we can get this tightened up. Give me a minute, I'll be right back. Okay, as you guys can see, I got all 4 bolts in there and it is sturdy as can be. Now what I'll do is I'll just grab my Harley Davidson insert, because I have a Honda one to go with this, but it goes right down inside there like it's supposed to, and we just close the top. And you'll have to excuse the dust because we have fires here in Southern California and everything is dusty. But as you can see, this is the completed product. It's level. It's kind of an optical illusion that it's crooked, but it's not, because I double checked and multiple times measured it and everything. But this is my 2013 F6B with a aftermarket Chinese tour pack that I can mount by myself in just a few minutes. It actually took longer to take the rack off than it did to actually mount this back on the bike. So I will show you again on the rest of this video the parts that I used, and hopefully this will help somebody. So here is the bellmetric.com. That's where I bought the bolts, and that's the part number. There's the metric nuts, hex nuts that I bought, and the nylock nuts that I bought to be able to use. And then, like I said, I use standard lock washers and fender bolts, or fender washers, and basically that's about it, folks. If you have any questions, you can send me an email, or you can hit me up on Facebook, 52 Mercury Man on Facebook. Hope this helps somebody that will be able to put their tour pack on by themselves quickly and take it off quickly. So if you're going a long ride, you don't need any additional folks to help you. So have a good day. Bye.